Hello, welcome to Calls with Your Kinky Bestie. I'm Emma. I am a submissive and mentor for fellow kinksters. This podcast is all about insights into kinky life and dating, sharing my personal experience and stories, and help share mindset shifts too to get you into a confident space, more confident than you are now. So get ready. It all starts now. Hi. Okay. I've had a few friends recently swearing that all they want is to meet someone in real life over frustration with the dating apps. And I want to dive into that topic a lot more because I think there's so much to unpack there that could be really helpful for anyone in this situation too. So let's get into it. I want to start by kind of reframing this idea and bringing it back instead to manifestation. That's kind of my whole thing with dating and how it's worked for me and what I talk about. And how this lesson, how this transfers over, because I know it's hard to see, especially when so much about manifestation content is just asking for exactly what you want for it to come to you. And while that is so important, I think there's another little part of that gets missed, that actually blocks you from getting the thing that you want. So here's how and why that happens. All right. So in the manifesting process, when you ask the universe for something that you want, you are asking for a partner in this case, let's say, who has these traits, makes you feel this certain way, all that wonderful stuff, and the relationship makes you feel good. Once you're asking the universe for that thing to happen for you, and the universe is, okay, working on getting that thing to you, oftentimes, I forget what the term is, but there's this term in the manifesting world. Oh, it's a manic manifester, for people who want things to happen in a super specific way, of okay, I want to meet this exact person, or I want to meet someone in this way and X, Y, Z, and that is part of the exact thing I want. But the problem with it is, and often what happens with manic manifestors is they manifest something in this super specific way, and then they get it, and then it isn't actually what they want, that makes them feel that way, because the only way they could have gotten it exactly the way that they were asking for was to bring them something that wasn't quite right. Because we, as little mortal humans on the world who don't know everything about the universe and what's going on, how should we know? Truly, how should we know how we're going to meet this specific, or which specific person on this universe is going to be able to be the perfect partner for you, in a way that is aligned with that person too, and for their best outcome and all that stuff. There's only so much information that we have access to. And even if you do have access to that information, you don't know how things are going to play out in the future too. And what their internal desires are, and really all that stuff. So much of it is beyond your scope as a manifestor. Your only job as a manifestor is to decide the feelings that you want to get, and focus on feeling those feelings and take little the inspired actions that come to you to get you closer towards those feelings. But it's not your obligation to control exactly how it's going to come for you. Make that plan, and for things to work out in that exact way, because that's just not how it works. You're asking the universe for what you want, but you're not hopping into the kitchen to cook it up for yourself. You're placing your order, and you're communicating what you need, and you're making sure you got money to pay for it when it comes and stuff like that. But the universe is the chef actually working to bring this thing to you. Because maybe that perfect burger that's going to make you feel amazing is not the one that you're making yourself, with those ingredients that you're picking. Someone else knows a little bit better. That's why we're working with the universe and not against it. We're not controlling it, because that is not our job. Our job is to order it and sit back and relax. Well, order it, sit back, relax, take some actions to make sure that it's actually coming to us and stuff like that. But whatever, it kind of falls apart there. But hopefully that makes a little bit of sense to like at least drive home that little blip of a point. Okay. So what happens when you set, you have set your desire into the universe, when you try to control it around like how it's going to get to you, like the time frame it's going to happen to you, like who is going to bring it to you, stuff like that. What you think you're doing is creating, guidance for the universe to like channel it through those directions. And you are, but by asking the universe to channel it through those directions and only be available to happening to you in those specific ways, you could actually, if you're not fully aligned with this thing, or don't have all the knowledge of what's going to be the best outcome for everybody, you can actually be creating blocks for yourself. And creating resistance for it to happen to you, because maybe the universe right now is, well, no, not maybe. If you've set a desire into the universe is working to bring it to you and bringing you little nudges to bring you to it and all of that stuff. Like, it is in the works right now, period. That's it. So by you then trying to control exactly how it's going to come for you, like the universe is already working on bringing you this thing in the best, most aligned way of everyone's good. You're good, the world's good, the perfect time, perfect place, perfect way. Like, it is all happening for you. So then by creating these parameters around, well, I want love, but I only want love if it's someone that I am like meeting in real life. Well, the universe is working so hard to bring you that person in a different way. So by you like blocking yourself off to a way that the universe could get this thing to you, like you're only creating resistance for it to come to you. So it might take longer. You might have to then meet someone in person who you think checks all those lovely boxes. But then, turns out a few months later doesn't at all, and you're back to the drawing board when really the universe already brought you that person through a little like a notification on your phone. Like, you can be creating resistance to this thing happening for you at all by controlling how you want it to happen. And it's just like a little bit of a self-sabotage move almost too, because like, again, you don't fully know the way that this is going to be best for you. And by working with the universe and not against it, and by using tools like manifestation, like you have to be open to the universe putting in some of that work for you, and the universe being a little bit more right than you, right than you are. So going back to what your job actually is, because it's not controlling the way this person comes to you that you're asking for, focus on what that feeling of being with that person is going to be like. And then when the universe is sending you all these little nudges about where you're going to get that feeling, follow those little nudges and go to where you are getting that feeling. Make that feeling too. So if you're getting little nudges from if you're getting, maybe a friend is recommending a dating app to you, then maybe that's the universe's way of bringing you a nudge through someone else to point you down that line. Or maybe that, the universe is going to bring that perfect person to your workplace and you're going to meet them. So it's, you don't want to be closed off the other way too, where like you can only meet people on dating apps. Like, be open to all of it. As someone who's preparing if you're preparing your life for this person to come to you and asking for it and matching up with the feeling of having that thing, then you've got to be ready for it to come at you from any angle the universe is going to pick. And that's really the magic of how the universe can bring you, something better than you could have ever imagined for yourself too, which is really wonderful. And if you're noticing that frustration around when I'm on dating apps, I'm not finding this exact person, and so it's not working for me, work on making that feeling for yourself too. Like, okay, how can I start to find the good? How can I start to, instead of, canceling people out, how can I really nail down my desires and think about ways that this desire could come to me in a different way than I expect? Like, maybe one of your desires in a partner is someone who makes you feel really safe. So I actually used to have it on my manifestation list that I wanted my partner to be tall, because I thought a tall person could make me feel safe. But that is so silly because like someone is not going to make me feel safe just because they're taller than me. I had a string of partners who were taller than me who made me feel unsafe for like other reasons. So by instead like bringing it back to like the actual feeling of what I want to happen for me in that way, then you're able to like open your eyes to all the ways the universe is trying to get that feeling to you too. So if you're not finding that feeling and you're following the nudges, then like look harder. Absolutely look harder. And it's super important to, be open to all the ways that this could happen for you too. So even if you do want to meet someone in real life, maybe that is a nudge that you're getting from the universe, that is a way that you've got to go to. So I do recommend, I actually created an episode about how to find kinky people in real life. So go check out that episode. I'll link it in the show notes so that you can see what's up there. So if you're getting those nudges from the universe that like you are really meant to like meet someone in person in like this fun, spontaneous way, then be open to it happening in this fun, spontaneous way and start taking steps to like putting yourself in those types of spaces, ready for those types of conversations and all that good stuff. But whenever you're, I guess, like feeling frustration because you're asking for this thing and you're not seeing it, like that's the point to look a little deeper, look a little closer, because this thing is coming to you. And if you're not seeing it, then that's a problem. So look a little harder. And I highly recommend, I hope that this type of content is helpful for you. If it is, maybe this is your nudge from the universe to keep following this content as I post more about, because my whole thing is getting kinky submissives like you. They're perfect partnerships. It took me a while to figure out how to do it for myself. So now that I've got it here, I am so excited to share that with others. You might also be a good fit for, I actually do like mentorship where you can have direct contact with me. We can talk through your stuff. After this, I'll put the little I have a little recording like giving the blurb about that and like the link too. There's also the link in the show notes for this episode too. But yeah, that's the gist of what I've got to say here. I hope this is helpful. I know that your person is coming to you one way or the other. So let's take a deep breath. Let's relax and be open to that and really like curious to where that's going to be and where the universe is taking you. All right. Bye. Just a little break to share that if you are loving this podcast and my content, if I'm someone you could see yourself working with, but you're wanting more direct support for your specific situation, I do offer mentorship. It's personalized to you, private video or phone calls with me, so you can chat about your situation and figure out a solution that's going to work for you. You can visit my website. It is kinkybestie.com/mentorships to see what's available and to book in your spot on my calendar. It's kinky with a Y at the end and bestie with an IE at the end. The link will be in the show notes, so you can check it out there. Back to the show. Thank you so much for joining me this episode. You can follow the podcast on the platform where you're listening to get updates with new episodes. You can follow me on social media at Kinky Bestie. I'm on Instagram. You can also check the show notes for any links or resources that I talked about in this episode, or just more ways to connect with me. And please share this with your kinky friends who could benefit from this type of content. There is also an option for each podcast episode to engage with Q&As or polls. So I'd love to hear from you and create future episodes around what you want to chime in with. So please check those out in the show notes too. And I look forward to hearing from you. Bye.